Welcome back to Rebuild Rescue. So for the last few days, the Joes and I have been working on the 401 trying to get the wings off. And man, you would think that the manufacturer's maintenance manual would have all the answers, but it just didn't. And this has been a huge pain, but we're getting there. Take a look. So Joe has been putting in some extra hours and he got these huge workbenches done for the hangar that have like wheels that pop up so you can roll it around. Yeah, these things they're massive, Joe. They're some massive benches. All right, well, now we got these done. Let's get over here to the 401. We have to get it up. We got to get that trailer that you built underneath it. And we have to get the jacks that we have set up. There's a lot of work to do. We did pull out the manual. We did look at the manual. We have printed pages of it. I have it on my computer. So it's going to come off. Today. Oof. Today? So we're going to get at it. We need to get the trailer that's going to be bolted onto this airframe so we can transport it to multiple different places. We need to get that underneath it. So we are going to jack it up with the normal jack points, and then we're going to let it down on top of these carts again. A lot of people had mentioned in the comments about following the manual. You know, the manual's pretty vague on all this stuff, and the bolts are very stuck. Now, this is an airplane that has, you know, it had a gear up landing at one time. It was definitely loaded at different times. And, you know, so I'm pretty sure that these were stressed before. They may not come out perfectly easy. We may have to move the weight around on the wings. We're going to use some different jacks. We are going to get them off. The biggest thing is we don't want to force them off. So the first thing that I do every morning that I get here to the Rebuild Rescue hangar, I grab my AG1 and I enjoy an AG1 minute. AG1 gives me so much more mental clarity. AG1 has 75 vitamins and minerals and whole food sourced ingredients. When I first saw AG1, being that it's all natural ingredients, I thought this stuff was going to taste like grass, but it actually really tastes good. You have to try some. AG1 is the perfect place to get all of your nutritional needs in one convenient drink, and it's lifestyle friendly. So whether you have a keto diet or maybe you have a high protein diet, maybe you're an athlete that runs marathons, or maybe you just need to get quick nutrition because you're in the office all day, AG1 is a great source of nutrition for you and for everybody. Another thing I really love about AG1 is their convenience packages. Look, I am such a busy guy, whether I'm here in the hangar or flying across country to try to find parts for the 401. I always have these packets with me. Actually, they're all over the place. They're all over the hangar. And they're so convenient, it makes it so much easier for me to get and have my AG1 minute. Out of the 75 vitamins and minerals, there's 11 of them that are key for energy production alone. And all of us need as much energy as we can get, especially Sam. Click my link below to get a 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D3K2 and 5 travel packs free with your first purchase. Look guys, you gotta take care of yourself. AG1 is a great resource. It has all the nutritions and everything that you need, and you can't put a price tag on your own health. So now that I have my AG1, let's get back to the 401, finally get these wings off.
Okay.
All right, so we got that jack on. We got the other jack on.
They are all started.
All right.
All right, well, nose is off the ground.
Is that enough for the gear to swing?
That's enough for that one.
All right, so we'll jack this up a bit.
Yeah, I think you're okay. You're in the air.
Yeah, I'm in the air. You're in the air over there.
This one in the air? Yeah. Okay.
We're just gonna release all the gear manually because we're not gonna be using it again anyway. And this whole front is actually gonna have to come out and it's gonna get rebuilt. The gear that we got with the other wings already has the gear rebuilt, so we don't have to rebuild any of that stuff, but we're gonna have to rebuild this. So we might as well take it out before it gets shipped out so we can rebuild it. Yeah, so this will...
It's free to move.
So the whole time we're thinking about how we're going to get the gear released, and we forgot about the manual gear release. When in doubt, crank it out. If you want to stand here, I'll go check it out.
Sure. If I have to go further, I'll go further for you.
Hey! Came right out. All right, well, I don't know if anything needs disconnected or if it just needs a good swift kick.
And as you go up, the doors are going to come up with it.
Yeah.
That's going to be the big trick.
That kind of scared me. I thought I was going to take my fingers there for a second. But yeah, I think for now, I think we just strap this thing shut.
Yeah.
And, you know, that way we can get the wings off. One, strap it when we want to pull that whole gear assembly out of there. So one of the things we were just talking about how big of a project this is. As I was in the interior, and I was honestly thinking to myself, like, my gosh, we got to put this thing back together. And Joe made a really good point. It's just like any project. It's just like any big thing that we do, you know, whether it's in business or in life. It's just one piece at a time. It's one bolt at a time. It's one cable. It's one wire. I know there's a number of people that are really kind of doubting our resolve here and whether or not we'll get this thing together. Look, we won't quit. We just won't quit. We won't quit. Like, it's going to go back together. It's going to fly one way or the other. And I'm just so excited that there's so many of you that stand behind us here at Rebuild Rescue, and they're excited to see the good things this airplane's going to do and to know what it already has done. I mean, there's so many people that have like reached out and said, hey, I'm getting into aviation now because I saw the channel, because I've been inspired. This 401 has done some amazing things already, and it's going to do more. It's going to get together. We're going to fly it. You guys are going to see it. It's just amazing. That didn't work out too well. I wasn't a Boy Scout.
I can see he was not a Boy Scout. He did not make a square knot.
Or a sailor, no. All right, I'll keep it out of the way. Good. Huh? Really, at this point, what we need to do now is pull the tail stand out and start letting it down on these supports here. And I'd like to set it down on everything. That way it's completely stable. And that gives us enough room to get underneath here with like some regular floor jacks and then some bottle jacks. And we can support this wing 100%. Even though in the manual, in the aircraft manual, it says nothing about that. It literally says take some bolts out, support it with something foam underneath the fuselage.
And just yank the wing off.
And yank the wing off. And it said something about wiggling it.
Yeah.
Let's get the benches under there as a safety precaution. Let's get the foam pads for them. So we're gonna have to let this one down a little bit, that one down a little bit, the front down a little bit, and just kind of go back and forth between the three.
Uh-huh.
Okay. You guys all ready?
Yeah.
Real slow.
I can feel it unstressing.
All right, I got an inch clearance. Where are you at, Joe?
I am rattling on it. That's. I would leave it like this.
Okay. Now we're gonna have to get, because we want to set it down on those benches. So that means that we got to come down that much yet, which is what, 1.5 feet. I don't know if the gear doors are gonna, if the gear's gonna clear. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it'll be close.
You know, this is my
Ooh, you know this is my favorite penetrate. At least I can say penetrating fluid the right way. Fuselage. I think Joe's trying to beat us over there.
How many screws did he drill out already?
Allegedly.
I didn't drill out any. I was able to remove them all.
All right, so got that gear door loose, and so there's a few people that made comments about, you know, switching out the original wings, and it's the 401. Why would you do that? Why would you take the original wings off? You know, the biggest mission for the 401 is to help people. It's to have a safe and, you know, well-flying aircraft. If you look at this, this is part of the landing gear that we just took off. It's got some pretty good rust in it. This piece is probably, I don't know, at least 500 bucks. I mean, airplane parts are crazy expensive. The wings that we bought, along with the engines and everything else, this stuff is all rebuilt. That's why we bought those wings. That's why we're doing it this way. It just makes a lot more sense. Now, we'll save some of these for like emergency spares, but how much do you think this would be, Joe? Like 500 bucks?
At least.
If you can find it.
Probably more, because this is riveted in. So
Yeah.
it's a special end.
Yeah, and this is all new.
Right.
On the other wings, everything's new. The whole, I mean, it's like brand new wings, and you can't find them. It's impossible.
Yeah.
But it was possible. You know, it's possible because one of the viewers, like you, said, "Hey, you know, there's some wings. You guys got to get these." But that's why, because we want the best airplane that we can put together.
You don't like this?
Yeah.
You don't like that? Really? It's not that nice?
I mean, we could clean that up. We could zinc chromate it. We could blast it, which I still may blast it anyway because I'm kind of curious to see how it'll clean up. But the ones on the Brussels plane
Are new.
Brand new.
Zinc-chromated, ready to.
brand new, zinc chromated, ready to go, ready for paint. How can I figure you two out?
Race Car Joe.
Race car Joe.
That's it.
Your race car. That means we're gonna
That's
have.
it.
That's me.
That means that we're gonna have to get a race car, though.
I'm okay with that.
You're okay. I'm okay with that.
Okay. Can I drive it?
Whoa, you're airplane Joe.
That doesn't mean I can't drive.
Well, I think we could all drive.
You
it.
give me the keys, I'll drive anything.
But then
Hey,
race cars don't have
Don't
keys.
have keys.
You give me the keys to anything, I'll take it. Okay.
So,
Take 'em.
race car Joe was saying, "Hey, we should throw this in the vapor home machine and just see how well it cleans up." Let's go do that.
You guys saw what this thing looked like? This is not a new part. This is the part we put in there. Joe cleaned it up. It looks brand new. I can't believe like the job that this thing does.
In like 2 minutes.
Yeah, so if you guys haven't checked it out, check out their website, Vapor Honing Technologies. I'm flabbergasted by how much that clean. It's like brand new.
All right, you got that wing, Joe?
Yes, sir.
Do we think we go down in the rear first or front first?
I think rear first a little bit. That's it. She's down.
Jeez, Norm.
Go, Norm, go.
Oh my God.
Right on time, Norm.
So literally, I'm over there, I'm letting the last part of the weight down on all the supports, and Norm's over here working on a tug, and he hit the starter button at the exact time that I put the weight on the 401 or down on the benches, and I think I just lost at least a year of my life. But yeah, there it is. It is down. It is at a manageable height, and look at this.
Yeah, that'll make our wing come off easier.
It's pretty stable. So in the manual, it says something about supporting the wing with a padded kind of stand in the middle of the wing. We tried that, it didn't work. So instead we have 4 different jacks on 4 corners of the wing, which is gonna allow us to put weight in and out of the wing and balance it or however we want. So we're gonna do each bolt. We're gonna check the way the wing wants to be to have those loose, so they come out a lot easier. That barely took any amount of force to get out at all, so this is coming out nice. Pretty much just pulled that one out. Last one. Let's get these straps strapped on.
There she goes.
I just heard something pop.
The front mounts are completely separated.
Oh,
Look at that.
all right, get this thing the rest of the way up, off here. All those cables, Joe, can you check those cables, make sure they're all loose? Do I see one tight wire up front there? Is that copper or is that a wire?
That's a wire.
I'm gonna be replacing this anyway. So really it looks like all we have is this cable here, which is a what cable? Where's that go? Oh, that's the fuel.
Selector, right?
Yeah, that's the fuel selector. So that was a ton of work that we did. We still got a bunch of work to do today, but I also wanted to share with you what we've done so far in the 401. This is our list of 401. You know, when we take a look at this list, well, besides people deciding they're writing me love notes, but
Wonder who that was.
yeah, right. Yeah, of course. Thanks, Sam. Really, what we have to do yet to get it out to the avionics shop, which is all the way down in Georgia, we got to finish pulling these wings off. We got to do a final clean on the interior. We have to fix the throttle quadrant. We got to prep for transport to Georgia. We have to install new cables, and then we have to mount it to the trailer. We have to ship out the avionics, and then we're going to do a trip to Georgia with the 401 fuselage up on a trailer. But before then, we actually have to go over all the ADs. We do have an NDT company coming in that's non-destructive testing to go through some of the ADs, because our goal is to have this fuselage done by the time the wings from Amsterdam and all the other parts get here. So we're going to be doing multiple things, having multiple companies tied in to get some of this stuff done. And that's where this comes in. So we had the fuselage work. I did it again. The fuselage work. So we had the fuselage work. We had the avionics we got to get done. It's going to be heading down to Georgia. They're estimating about 3 months to get it done. So that's going to be December, January, and February. So we're trying to get the fuselage done, that the stuff we have to do here, done in time to get that down there in December so they can work on it. That's why we decided to do it this way, and we created the trailer to bolt it onto so we can get work done even though the wings are on. Otherwise, this thing would be sitting for probably another 8 months until it can be flown, and then you have to go get stuff done. It's the easiest way that we could get a lot of work done quickly. After it gets done, It's going to go over and it's going to get paintwork done. I don't know if you guys saw the episode when we were working on the free abandoned yacht. Hey, aren't you that Robbie Layton guy?
Aren't you that rebuild the Cessna guy?
But Robbie Layton stopped by. He checked out the fuselage. He is an awesome painter. And I think with a little bit of help from the aviation community over at his shop, I think he's going to be able to get that fuselage painted. And, you know, he figures it's going to take him about a month. And the arrival date for the Amsterdam parts and wings is supposed to be between February and March, depending on shipping. Now, guys, this is coming all the way across the pond. I can't promise nothing's going to happen from now until then, but it's supposed to start shipping here 2 weeks into December. It's supposed to be on the boat coming over here, but we can have holdups. There can be things that happen. So anything out of my control, I'm not promising. I mean, as long as like that, you know, the boat's not taken over by pirates or something. I don't know.
Look at me.
Sure.
Look at me.
Sure.
I'm the captain now.
So if those wings are here in time for this trip with the fuselage, we can also get the wings over there. They can be painted separately. And actually, a lot more of the joints would be painted and stuff that would normally be covered up. And it would also be a lot more manageable. And we can get it done before we build it together. So it makes everything a lot quicker. After that, the fuselage goes over to MJ Aircraft over in Indiana. They say they're figuring on taking about 2 months to get it done. If that's the case, by the end of April, the fuselage will have the avionics done, the paint will be done, the paint will be done on the wings, and really, the interior is going to be done. After that, we got to get it back here to Pennsylvania. We got to get it back to the rescue hangar because we have 2 months. 2 months to get it done because our goal is to have this 401 resurrected for the Phoenix to be flying in time for Oshkosh 2023. And I know so many people got a hold of me that understand airplanes and what it takes. It is a huge task. I know you guys haven't seen this. We have had tons of people in and out of this hangar. We have been on and off the phone talking to many companies. But as of today, we have 247 days, 17 hours, well, and 17 hours because I wrote this a few minutes ago. So that 5 minutes is gone, and we have a lot of work to do, but we've already got a ton of work done.
Do you really think we have time to get all that done?
We got 247 days.
And about 365 days worth of work.
Well, we better get at it then.
One fuel selector cable. That means this wing is completely free and ready to hit the floor.
So without further ado, let's finally get this wing off. I can't tell you guys how much work it's taken just to get here and how disappointed I am with how little is actually in the factory maintenance manual on how to do this. Because it is a lot harder than just putting a padded support on and removing bolts 1 and 2 or 3 and 4, whatever it said. This is hours of work. I think that's good. I'm gonna let the weight off this jack here.
Okay.
Here it comes. You ready? Holding
Yep.
on to it tight.
Yep.
Yeah! Oh my gosh. We're gonna have to sit it on something. Let's swing it down that way. And here's one of the other things that you can do when you have a crane. You can move the wing everywhere safely. You down?
Down.
All right. I think the craziest thing when I look at all this, well, besides the fact that it has to go back together, it's a little crazy, but I mean, you saw this airplane for years.
Yeah.
Sitting at the end of the ramp. Did you ever think all this was going to be getting done to it?
No, I thought this thing was a trash bin and ready to go into the trash.
Well, I think some of the viewers may still think the same thing. Definitely a lot of them thought it was when we got it, and we didn't think we'd ever be doing this. Like, I didn't think we'd be flying this when I first saw it. But because of the viewers, that's why this is happening. This is Blaze. He is the manager for Signature here, and he is terrible to work with. Like, the most impossible guy to work with. No, he's awesome. Everybody here at Signature at Chester County is awesome. And actually, this wouldn't be possible without all of you guys. So
Thank you very much.
I appreciate it.
Enjoy having you here.
Yeah, I paid him to say that.
Yeah. Well, not yet. You owe me now.
Oh, shoot. I know a few of you guys in the comments had talked about why we cut into this wing right here because of the bolt heads being here. And there was a few people that said that there has to be a way that you could have not cut into that wing and got those bolts out. Well, here's the deal. This part that is connected to the main spar of the 401 is way more important than that wing skin. You can't hurt this piece. You can hurt it, but you can't, like, that'd be terrible. Could you imagine if I had to get in front of this camera and tell you guys that instead of cutting a little hole in a junk wing, that I destroyed pretty much the most important part in an airplane. But that's why we cut a hole in an old wing that we're not going to use again. And that's why I'm going to cut a hole in that one too, in the exact same place. So I hope you don't mind a couple more holes cut in the wings, because that's what's going to happen. The way we had done it before is we had pulled out the inside ones first. So do we want to try to maybe get these back ones first and then get the inside ones later? Yeah, let's try that. Let's try it that way. Go ahead and jack it up. That's good. Oh my God.
Wow. Wow.
Knock on wood. I was going to knock on that wood, but knock on wood, it's going a lot quicker and it's going a lot smoother. Oh my gosh. So if they would only all come out that easy. We're going to replace all these bolts because if you look, that's the bolt that was inside there and you can see where it had the most load on it. It didn't have even load, and that was from brand new. So we're down to one last bolt and it's only in by about 1/4 of an inch. And I mean, I have to tell you the difference between this wing and that wing is night and day. Is it a little bit because we had some lessons learned? Yeah, absolutely. All we had to do was change the way the weight is at what 4 corners on the wing and tilt it the right way and they come out. So that's also going to help us a lot getting it back in because we're already going to know that we have to put pressure up in the left front and a little bit on the right rear, and it's going to go in so much easier. So that just puts a little bit of tension on it because obviously we're going to slide it out. All right. Do you want to hold the fuselage? Do you want to hold the fuselage on the rear, Corey?
Yeah.
Good?
Yep.
Yes, no?
Yep. I went a little bit further now.
All right. Do you want to wiggle a little bit, Joe?
Yep.
It's ready to come. There it is. We are off up front. All right, we'll put a little bit of tension on there.
And you're out.
I know what that is a sign of.
The tuning forks.
Yeah, it's the tuning forks.
Boom. Thank goodness that's easy.
Oh, that feels so good. It feels so good to be able to slide that out and away. All right, so we finally got the wings off the 401. Yeah, right. I'm so tired. That was so much work. But look, we can get everything attached down onto our trailer for the 401. We can start shipping this thing off and getting all that work done. Guys, thank you so much for being part of the channel. Thank you for coming on and supporting us. Make sure you guys like the videos. Make sure you guys are subscribed and turn on notifications. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Thank you so much for watching.